Hey everyone, Flo from After Lens here, and today's video is about filters and NISI's new Swift system. So in this video I will talk about what is this new system, how I use it, as well as what I like and don't like about it. There's also a discount code for you if you're interested in these filters, so make sure to watch the video and check out the link in the description. As always, before I start, don't forget to subscribe to see more videos like this one, and let's get into it. So a few months ago I made a video about NISI's latest VND, which I really like. And recently they reached out and asked me if I was interested in testing their new filter system, so of course I said yes again. As I shoot a lot of content outdoors as a solo filmmaker, ND filters are an essential part of my kit. If you want to know more about NISI's latest VND, or VNDs in general, feel free to watch my dedicated video. This new Swift system is quite different though, so since there are quite a lot to cover on a few different items, I'm going to split this video in different sections. So first of all, I'm going to talk about what is this kit and how I use it. Then I will talk about what I like and don't like about it, and then I will discuss who I think this is for and if I would recommend it. So essentially, the Swift system extends the capability of their 1 to 5 stop VND by adding extra filters. It is a non-magnetic design with no rotation. It is very easy and simple and stays in place very well. I think this is why the system is called Swift, because it's very easy and quick to use. Alongside the main VND, you can now add an extra 4-stop ND and a black mist 1.4. You can also get an additional IR cut filter, which can be very important in my case, for example. There is also an adapter ring, which allows you to mount either of these filters directly on the lens without having to use the main VND. It still features high-definition optical glass, nano coating, as well as waterproof and anti-reflective coating. And you also get a lens cap and a case. With this new system and all the filters available, there is a total of 15 combinations, which is pretty crazy and very impressive. Here's a quick glance at all the possibilities. So in the first place, having a VND means that you can be more precise when it comes to the amount of light getting in. So if you need to keep your aperture or shutter speed at a fixed value, then a VND will help. For my type of work, which is mainly documentary, outdoor, travel and landscaping content, a VND is very handy if not essential. The Swift system is for when you need more. With it, you are able to cover different situations and creative styles. Essentially, you can be prepared for pretty much anything. And you can actually also save money using the system. So for example, if you were to purchase a 2 to 5 stop filter and a 6 to 9 stop filter, the price would most likely be above $400. But if you choose to use a Swift VND kit, then in that case the amount will be reduced to less than $300. Obviously, it depends on the kit that you choose and the filter size. Now let's talk about the filters. So first of all, the extra 4-stop ND. In some situations, especially outdoors in the snow or in very harsh light, a 1 to 5 stop VND might not be enough. With the extra 4 stops, you can essentially cover from 1 stop all the way to 9 stop, which is pretty impressive. A lot of filters are 1.5 to 5 stops or 2 to 5 stops, so having a 1 to 5 stops already, and on top of that being able to add an extra 4 stops in a matter of seconds is just great. I spent a whole day hiking with the VND and the extra ND, and I was able on a very sunny day to use my Sigma 18-35 pretty much wide open at f2, even in full daylight. I can see myself using the extra 4 stops when the snow arrives here in the Alps in a month or two. Not having to increase your aperture even in super bright condition is always a plus and allows you to be a bit more creative and in control of your image. The Black Mist 1.4. Black mist filters are used for several reasons. It could be to create an atmosphere, to add depth, to have a more cinematic look, or simply to soften the image. To test this filter, I filmed my grandfather at his tool bench, which worked very well since he had a neon light just above it. It really helped creating a more cinematic image. I actually hate using that word, but in that case, it actually changed the look of the frame by quite a lot. To be honest, these are probably some of my favorite frames I've shot recently. Here's an example of the difference in using or not using the black mist filter on the exact same shot. Since I was using a cine lens, the Meiki 18mm t2.1, I also used a VND on top of that to be able to shoot wide open as the neon light was quite bright. For the others, I just used the black mist filter directly on the lens using the adapter. In addition to those two filters already in the kit, I asked NISI if they could send the IR cut filter. This one is meant to reduce or get rid of the IR pollution that you can find on cameras that do not have an IR filter installed in front of the sensor, like the BMP-CC 6K and the 6K Pro, and as you know, those two are my main cameras. Even if the 6K Pro does have internal NDs, they are not IR-ND. I do have cinema IR-ND filters, NISI ones as well, but obviously they're a lot more pricey and a lot larger, so I usually keep them for actual proper documentary work or commercial work. In my previous VND video, I showed the effect of using the VND at full strength on the 6K Pro, and you could clearly see the IR pollution. This IR cut filter allows you to use the full range of the VND and gets rid of the IR pollution. Here are a few tests to show you how effective it can be. These images are straight out of the camera, and I tried to recreate a similar shot than my previous one with the VND alone. So here's what I like about the Swift system. First of all, it is very well made, the same as a 1.5 VND. I like that it really improves on the VND. That Swift system makes it a lot more versatile and an even better investment. So for me, if you already own and use the 1.5 VND, this makes a lot of sense and is pretty much a must-have. It is great on those occasions when you need more than 5 stops, or when you need to soften the image or create a more pronounced visual style in camera. The strongest point for me is that it covers loads of situations. For such a small package, it does a lot. The color consistency is great, and I really like the very easy non-magnetic solution. I also really like that they include the adapter if you only want to use one filter at a time on the lens directly. And as per the VND, I really like the high quality pouch for transport and storage. I found it very useful and very sturdy. And finally, I'm glad that they included a very handy brochure explaining all the different combinations. Now let's talk about the things that I don't really like about the Swift system. The main thing is that lots of combinations can be a bit overwhelming. It can be hard to remember what's possible and how, so the brochure really helps. Next is that you need to commit to this system, as it is built around the original 1.5 VND. Then there are a few other things. For example, when you try to remove the cap, sometimes the filter can come with it. Next, I really feel like a lens cloth should have been included. Then for some reason I keep trying to put the filter the wrong way due to their look, but maybe it's just me. And lastly, it can be hard to know which filter is which inside the pouch when you need to pick one, as they look very similar and the writing is quite small. As you can see, none of these are deal breakers though. As always, I want to give you guys my honest opinion, and to be completely transparent with you, I didn't think that this system would come in that handy, but I was very surprised by how useful and versatile it can be, so yes, I would definitely recommend it. VNDs are already very useful and practical on their own, especially when it comes to outdoor or solo work, and when you add this Swift system, it really becomes a more powerful kit that allows you to cover pretty much any situation. It's very well made, easy to use, and in my opinion makes for a very solid investment. It is perfect for someone that wants a high quality set of filters without having to spend a large amount of money on cinema filters, for example. Personally, in addition to the extra full stop ND and the Blackmist 1.4, I would highly recommend the IR cut filter, especially if you shoot on Blackmagic Pocket cinema cameras. That's it for me for today, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Make sure to check out the link in the description to get a discount on these filters. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.